We have Bradford Pelton, the law office of Bradford Pelton, right here in Colorado Springs. I'm going to throw this out right now. You can contact them at 719-634-8828. That's 719-634-8828. Online, it is bradfordpelton.com. Always great to see you in the studio, my friend.
Morning, Paul. It's good to be here.
And just to let folks know, your areas of practice that you specialize in.
Well, I like to say, I'm old school, I like to say that I limit my practice to personal injury, which involves auto accidents, premises liability, bicycle and pedestrian accidents, truck accidents, dog bites, just about anything on the road, on the job, or anywhere in between. If you're injured, give me a call and I'll try to help you.
Doing what you're good at and what you enjoy working with people on. That's the great thing about law, and we find that so often that most firms, they seem to gravitate towards one thing or another. And don't get me wrong, there are some out there that say well, this is real lucrative, but 9 times out of 10 you find attorneys like yourself that say, you know what, I enjoy this particular area of practice, and then over the course of 38 years here, I think you've gotten fairly good at it.
Well, I'm certainly used to it, and yes, I feel like I'm real good at it. And it is, frankly, exactly what I want to do.
Well, and that's the best thing right there.
Yes, sir.
It is what you want to do.
Yes.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about this a little bit, because I just want to throw this out. This was something that has been in my mind since here last week. But, over the weekend, it seems like I saw ad after ad after ad on television, and people understand exactly what I'm talking about. And the fact is that the only thing you ever hear from these people, and I'm not trying to put anybody down here. Don't sue me if you're listening to me and you know who you are. But I'm just saying that in my mind, I'm thinking, that just doesn't sound right, I mean, we're talking about people getting millions of dollars and getting it fast. Real life really kind of isn't that way, and I just want to just throw that out there.
I'd agree with that. I think that the emphasis should be on getting well first. Without a doubt, the money follows the service. And so I try to keep that in mind. That's my dad's basic philosophy of life, and I want to help first.
Right.
Money is nice, but it's no substitute for health. Believe me.
Yeah, and we've talked about this before. To think that this is some kind of lottery, and I guess that's where I'm going with this, and with the big lotto drawing that didn't happen for anybody, but people feel like that they won the lottery, and really it's not that way, is it?
No, and frankly, the people that come to see me are trying to get their lives back together, and they're confused, they're frightened, they are inexperienced with it, frankly, and they don't know how to prioritize their rehabilitation, for lack of a better word. I'm not exactly sure how to phrase that other than to say...
Actually, I think you phrased it quite well.
Yeah.
As we've talked about before, I was in an auto accident many years ago, and I was very confused about what to do and things. And being the person that I am, I was thinking, I'm like you. I just wanted to get my health back. I wanted to get my car replaced. It was totaled. And I thought, this is pretty simple. I'm going to, deal with their insurance company and we'll get this all settled out. Well, it took me a while to figure it out, Brad. But I, down the line, did go ahead and retain the services of an attorney who took care of things a lot more effectively than I was doing.
They're good people on the other side, if I may say it that way. They're doing a job, and they're trying to feed their families the best that they can also.
Well, the adjuster, she was pleasant enough. It was just that she was saying, no, not going to do that, not going to do that, not going to do that.
And with respect. They apologize, and we regret. I get those letters all the time.
And in the meantime, we're throwing out money all the time with medical bills and all these other types of things, and we're wondering, well, what's going to happen here? I mean, we want to get healthy. Are these people going to cover this? And it's bleeding us, and it was very, very frustrating.
Well, and again, it's a matter of who's priorities are we talking about? Are we talking about the insurance carriers, which they certainly are, or am I talking about your or any of my clients' priorities? Mm-hmm. I had a woman in yesterday who's at the end of her rehabilitation.
Okay.
I asked her to come in and meet with me face to face, which is certainly a much better way to do it than over the phone. And it is my standard of practice when we discuss these kinds of issues. I want it to be in person and face to face. But she was told by her doctor that, he looked at her and said, I'll see you back in 4 weeks if I need to, but you're released unless you have some additional problems. And
well, that's kind of vague.
Yeah. I told her, I said, listen, I'd rather have you see the doctor one time too many than one time too few.
Right.
I said, I do not want to talk to you about resolving this case until you've seen that doctor 4 weeks from now. Mm-hmm. Period. And so she looked at me and said, yes, sir, and we'll talk to her in 4 weeks.
Well,
but
and I would agree with you.
She's going back to the doctor.
Yeah, and I would agree with you. That was kind of vague.
Yeah.
Doctors don't have all the answers. They're trying their best. They don't have the crystal ball where they can look down the road and say, well, this is what you're going to experience from 5 years from now because of this. Sometimes they can extrapolate that, but in most cases, they don't know.
Well, and they're like all of us. They're coming from their last appointment,
right?
Thinking about their next appointment, and nothing wrong with that. God bless the doctor, and but I think that the patient needs to be discharged from care as opposed to, well, if you need to see me, come back. So I want her at maximum medical improvement. Mm-hmm. I want her released from care. I want her to know what her future looks like. For better or worse, frankly. But I think she's on her way to as total a recovery as she can get. She's not going to get completely well.
And really, that's what it came down to with me. We got to the point where the doctors or the MD did come out and say, this is probably about the best that you're going to be able to expect. And she had said that, down the line, you're going to probably experience more problems in these particular areas because of this. And I would recommend you do these types of things in order to minimize that. But this is as good as you're going to be. And so at least you have something definitive there that you can say, okay. And so then bringing that to you, then that gives you something where you can go back to the insurance company, and this is documented by a medical doctor and, a professional that says, this is where you're at. This is not going to be something that is going to get any better than this. So there's something now tangible.
Sometimes you listen, the people that come to see me, they look up to the doctor. He's a authority figure, and you do go to him hoping that he'll treat you right. Mm-hmm. And sometimes, frankly, the doctors, they're not trained the same way that lawyers are, of course, and their priorities are different. Mm-hmm. But I like definitive statements. I like it to be clear what these clients of mine can expect. And sometimes the doctor's kind of vague. He can't, I don't know that he wants to be or that he...
I think in a lot of cases they're trained that way. Well, and that's always with a lot of different things. Hedging your bet.
Well, and frankly, my clients come to me, they're looking for help. And so I step up and deliver that help. Mm-hmm. Some of my clients are reluctant to ask the important questions of the doctor. It's hard. You're in his office. He's in charge,
right? And he's in a hurry.
And I have many of my clients are frankly not terribly assertive. Mm-hmm. Frankly, they don't understand. And so sometimes, and I don't mind doing it, we'll sit down and we'll actually physically write out the questions so that they can either read them or hand them to the doctor to get the answers that, frankly, they need to have.
And that's why you hire the experience of an attorney such as you, Bradford Pelton, because I could see how terribly wrong this would go if this woman was negotiating with the insurance company on her own behalf and she were to talk with the adjuster and say, well, the doctor said, unless I have some other problems, that he'll just see me in 4 weeks. Well, the insurance adjuster probably would hop all over that and say, okay, so you're good to go then.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're going to send you over something. We just need your signature and we're all set.
Exactly right. Yeah, it's
that could go horribly wrong.
Well, it is a challenging job.
Yeah,
and there's some big responsibilities. It's that they look to me for guidance, and
right.
They certainly are sitting in my office. I explain it to them, and I see their eyes sort of glaze over, and I have to fall back on, listen, you have to trust me. I know what we're doing, and this is in your best interest.
That's where you hire the right people to do the jobs. As Clint Eastwood said in one of the Dirty Harry movies, a man's got to know his limitations.
That's right.
And here's my limitation. I need to take a quick break. But we're going to be right back. We're going to be talking more with Bradford Pelton, attorney at law here in Colorado Springs. Personal injury, anytime that something's not right for you due to negligence of others, that's what his office is here for. You can contact them at 719-634-8828. Stay with us. We'll be right back with a whole lot more here on Cruisin' Oldies, 1040 AM, 98.5 FM. Here talking with Bradford Pelton. He is an attorney at law here in Colorado Springs. He can actually help you wherever you are located in Colorado, licensed to practice law here in Colorado, the full state. It's absolutely free for you to give his office a call, set up a consultation. Again, personal injury. And, we're here in the morning drive, and, accidents happen, as they say. And if something has happened to you, choosing the right attorney is the most important thing that you can do right up front. Somebody that you feel comfortable with that's going to help you. You want to get your life back in order again, or at least you should. And that's what his office is all about. Give them a call. Like I said, it's absolutely free. Auto accident, workers' comp injury, anything like that where due to somebody else's negligence you've been hurt. You need to give them a call at 719-634-8828. That's 719-634-8828. Online, bradfordpelton.com. Talking a little bit about that, Brad, choosing an attorney, that should be something that you don't take on lightly. Certainly if you know somebody else that can give you a good recommendation and said, oh, you know what, we were in an accident and we used blah, blah, and, they were great, and, here's their number and stuff. But even still, you might just, we don't all get along, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you need to listen to that little inner voice that says, do I feel comfortable with this person? Are they talking about things that that are important to me?
That is correct. You need to find someone who, I guess the best way to phrase that is, God gave us two ears and one mouth. And so people come to see me. They spend a lot more time talking, especially in the beginning, than they do listening to me. It is important that I find out what's important to you, and the only way I can do that is to listen. And so we do spend an awful lot of time in the office, again, with person to person.
Right.
I've got 3 or 4 appointments again today, specifically for face-to-face conversations about how we're going to approach where they are in their claims. I'd like to say that the sooner the better. Mm-hmm. I met a couple of new clients on Saturday, and I'm certainly willing to do that. Their accidents were less than 48 hours old.
Wow.
Nobody had talked to the insurance company. Nobody had said anything that I have to unsay or redirect or
following you.
Yes, and then we have an opportunity to get photographs of the vehicles before they get towed off to salvage or destroyed that way. So I'm able to position them from the very beginning to maximize their recovery in terms of helping them with the appropriate medical care, and then positioning their cases so that we don't have to go to trial, that no untoward statements have already been made or any kind of representations. The insurance carriers are already interested in talking to them, and I'm happy to have that happen, but I'll be there.
Right. Well, and that's why you get the representation, and I want people to understand that, you and your firm are here to help people, but also you're not here just, as they say, chasing the ambulance or something. You're very, very upfront and honest with people. So if you get somebody in that says, here's what happened and things, and you're looking at it from your experience, you're looking for something that isn't here.
That's right.
You had talked about this before, setting people's expectations correctly.
Well, trying to penetrate that fog. Everybody's got a thought of what it is to have a claim. Mm-hmm. And I'm reminded of the story of the blind men and the elephant. They are taken to the zoo by their caretakers, and one of the blind people touches the side of the elephant and says, an elephant is like a wall. And then one of them touches the trunk and says, well, an elephant is more like a snake. One of them touches the ear and says, elephant is like a leaf. And of course, they're all right, and they're all wrong. And this is my elephant, and I do know what I'm doing with it. So
I like the way that you put that.
Yeah.
And folks, we're here talking with Bradford Attorney. He's a Pelton here in town. How'd you like that? Boy, is that dyslexia or
that's
what?
Good. No, that's perfect.
Okay, we're here talking with Attorney Bradford Pelton. And you know what? Personal injury, this is something that's so important, protecting yourself, your family, having somebody here that's going to help you get you back to where you were before, not only with any damages, any personal loss on your property, but your health, and that's so important. You need to give his office a call today. It's absolutely free to sit down, talk with them a little bit, have a consultation, find out a little bit more about them, and understand where you're at. 719-634-8828. That's 719-634-8828. Online, bradfordpelton.com. But, going back to that, folks need to understand the process. They need to understand that there's value, and I don't mean to make it sound antiseptic, but it really kind of is what it is that a lot of these things have already been quantified by insurance companies when we're specifically talking about insurance claims. So, what's it worth? They already have a really kind of a playbook for what it's worth, do they not?
They do, and it's appropriate. If you think about it, on their side, they handle numerous claims, and they handle just claims all day, every day. And so insurance is based on what they refer to as actuarial tables. And yes, the degree of risk is what drives their premium charges. It's also, on the flip side, what drives their defense decisions. Mm-hmm. They are certainly willing to take your individual case and lump it in with a bunch of cases like this.
And it all's worth this much.
That's right.
And you were following my point exactly.
And so what we try to do is identify the unique characteristics of your individual personal injury claim. My father used to call us a family law practice. And for several years, of course, I didn't really understand what he was talking about, because family law suggests divorce, custody. What he was talking about is the idea that if the father gets hurt, the entire family is impacted. Mm-hmm. I had some clients come up from Pueblo yesterday, and it was him, his wife, and his daughter. Mm-hmm. And we make decisions as a family. He actually says to me that I'm the only family he has here in the United States. He's from Mexico. Oh, okay. And he looks at me as an older brother.
Mi familia.
And so I respond to him in that way. I do try to take care of him and his family.
Oh, and I mean, I love the way that you put this before, talking about this, that the insurance company is not going to come to you with a big old bag of money and tell you, just reach in and grab whatever you want. I mean, this is something where it's not something, and I guess that's where I'm going with this, that the ill-prepared should go into and try to figure out. It's a little like, saying, well, it doesn't seem that hard to take the appendix out. I could save myself the time and certainly the money by just doing it myself.
There's that old, I don't know if it's a joke or not, but I like this story about the doctor who is going to take the guy's appendix out, and the guy wants to know what it's going to cost. You can tell how old the story is by how little he's charging, but the doctor says it's going to be $750. And the guy blanches and goes, "What do you mean? I want an itemized statement." The doctor said, "Fine." He said, "For the incision, $50. For knowing where to cut, $750. And that's
I like that.
Certainly, it very much. I like to think of the practice of personal injury law, especially on the claimant side.
Yeah,
very similar to martial arts.
Yeah,
there's forms, there's punches, there's counter punches, there's blocks, there's all manner of. But it's adversarial, right. And I don't want to call it a game. It's no game. Believe me, it's no game.
No, there's a lot riding on it.
There are rules. There are winners and losers. And I like to think of it as a metaphorical ball. And the object is to make sure we don't have the ball. If we're not sure what the injuries are, that means we've got the ball. Mm-hmm. When they know what the injuries are, now they got the ball. And so it is a matter, again, no game. This is no game. But the martial arts and the idea of you got to give them the ball. They got to know what they're dealing with so that they can respond appropriately, because believe me, we have the problems, they have the solutions. And what I want to do is make sure at the end they have the problems and we have the solutions.
And for the right solutions to your problems, personal injury, anything associated with auto accident, workers' comp injury, slip and fall, dog bite, as you say, give them a call today. The law office of Bradford Pelton is here to help you. Wherever you're at here in Colorado, they would like to be able to help you by giving them a call at 719-634-8828. That's 719-634-8828. You can have that free consultation, find out what your options are, and get the help you need to get your life back today. Well, maybe not just today, but it'll be sooner than it would if you did it on your own. Brad, always a pleasure having you here. The time goes way too fast.
Love being here, Paul. It's always a pleasure to see you.